Discover the power of presence to stay strong in life's most challenging moments. Awakening to presence, the key to inner strength. We all know life can be overwhelming. There are moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable. When the challenges ahead seem insurmountable. But in these moments, have you ever stopped to truly be still? To really feel the present moment? I ask you, what if the power to overcome every obstacle isn't found in running from your fears but in sitting with them? Fully. In the here and now. Let's explore this together. When you're faced with difficulties, the mind tends to race. Why is this happening to me? How can I fix it? What if it gets worse? These questions spiral endlessly, pulling you deeper into a state of anxiety and fear. But here's a paradox: the harder you try to escape your challenges, the stronger they grip you. Why? Because the mind thrives on resistance. The more you resist, the more energy you feed into the very things you want to avoid. Presence is the antidote. Imagine a storm raging outside. You can fight the storm, scream at the wind, and run for cover, or you can stand still and watch it pass. Presence is that stillness within you. It's the calm eye of the storm, unshaken and unmovable. When you anchor yourself in the present moment, you stop feeding the storm with your fear. You simply observe it. And in that observation, something incredible happens. You realize the storm is temporary. And so is your pain. Let's go deeper. Presence isn't just about mindfulness or being aware. It's about surrendering to what is, without judgment. Can you look at your pain, your fear, your challenges, and simply say, "This is what it is right now"? Can you allow yourself to feel fully, without trying to fix or change anything? I know this sounds counterintuitive. You might be thinking, how can I stay strong if I don't fight back? But strength isn't always about fighting. True strength comes from acceptance. From embracing the full reality of the moment without resistance. Ask yourself this: what are you running from? Take a moment to sit with that question. Is it the fear of failure? The fear of being judged? The fear of losing control? Whatever it is, bring it into your awareness. Don't push it away. Don't label it as bad or wrong. Just observe it. Feel its presence in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest? A heaviness in your stomach? A racing in your heart? These sensations are your gateway to presence. When you focus on the physical sensations of your emotions, something miraculous happens. The mind begins to quiet. The incessant chatter fades into the background. You're no longer caught up in the story of your pain, you're simply experiencing it as it is, in its raw and unfiltered form. And in this state of pure presence, the pain loses its power over you. Why is this so powerful? Because presence connects you to a deeper truth. The truth that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your circumstances. You are the awareness that observes all of these things. Take a breath with me now. Inhale deeply. Feel the air entering your lungs. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale slowly. Feel the release. That breath is your anchor. It's your connection to the present moment. Anytime life feels overwhelming, come back to your breath. It's always with you. A constant reminder that you are alive. Here. Now. But presence is more than a tool for coping. It's a doorway to profound transformation. When you live in the present moment, you tap into a wellspring of inner strength and resilience. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. You realize that every difficulty is here to teach you something, to guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. So, I ask you again, are you willing to face your challenges with presence? Are you ready to stop running and start observing? To let go of resistance and embrace the fullness of life. No matter how messy or uncomfortable it may be. You don't have to answer right away. Sit with these questions. Let them linger in your mind. And when you're ready, we'll move deeper into this journey. The next step will reveal how presence can transform not just your inner world but your relationships, your decisions, and the very fabric of your life. The alchemy of presence, transforming challenges into growth. When we think of life's challenges, it's easy to see them as burdens, as moments designed to test our patience or break our spirit. But what if I told you that these very challenges are not here to punish you but to shape you, to teach you? What if the most painful moments of your life were actually doorways to profound transformation? Let's explore this deeper together. You see, presence is not passive. It's not about sitting idly by while life throws everything at you. Presence is active engagement with reality. It's the courage to face life exactly as it is, without the need to control, manipulate, or escape it. This engagement with the present moment is the alchemy that turns lead into gold, suffering into growth, chaos into clarity. But how does this transformation happen? Let's begin with the concept of resistance. Have you ever noticed how much energy it takes to resist something? Whether it's an uncomfortable truth, a difficult emotion, or a challenging situation, resistance is exhausting. It drains you, leaving you frustrated and powerless. And yet, this is the default response for many of us. We resist because we're afraid. Afraid of pain. Afraid of loss. Afraid of failure. But here's the paradox. The more you resist, the more you suffer. What you resist persists. Because resistance keeps you entangled in the very thing you're trying to avoid. Presence offers a different path. Instead of resisting, it invites you to surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of allowing. To surrender is to let go of the need to control everything and trust that life has its own wisdom. Think about a river. When you fight the current, you expend enormous energy and make little progress. But when you flow with the current, you move effortlessly. Presence is like flowing with the river of life. It doesn't mean you let the river take you wherever it wants. You still steer. You still navigate, but you do so with the flow, not against it. Ask yourself this: what would it feel like to stop resisting and start allowing? Allow yourself to sit with this question. Imagine a recent challenge in your life. Maybe it was a conflict with a loved one, a financial setback, or a moment of self-doubt. How much energy did you spend resisting that experience? What would have happened if, instead of resisting, you had embraced it with presence? Here's the truth: every challenge contains a gift. But you can only access it through presence. When you stop resisting and start observing, you begin to see the lesson hidden within the difficulty. Maybe that conflict with a loved one taught you the importance of clear communication. Maybe that financial setback forced you to reevaluate your priorities. Maybe that moment of self-doubt was an opportunity to reconnect with your inner strength. This is the alchemy of presence. It transforms challenges into growth, pain into wisdom. But presence doesn't just transform your inner world, it transforms your relationships as well. When you approach others with presence, you bring a sense of calm and clarity that is deeply healing. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond thoughtfully. Instead of projecting your fears and insecurities onto others, you meet them with compassion and understanding. Let's take a moment to reflect. How often do you truly listen to others? Not just hearing their words but being fully present with them. Presence in relationships is a rare gift. It creates a space where others feel seen, heard, and valued. This space is where true connection happens. And when you cultivate presence in your relationships, you not only strengthen your bonds with others, you also deepen your own sense of self-awareness and empathy. But let's not stop here. Presence also transforms the way you make decisions. When you're fully present, you're not swayed by fear, doubt, or external pressure. You make decisions from a place of clarity and alignment. You trust your intuition because you're deeply connected to the wisdom of the present moment. Think about the last major decision you made. Were you present in that moment? Or were you distracted by fears and doubts? Presence invites you to slow down, to pause, to really feel into the decision before you. It asks you to listen, not just to your mind but to your heart, your body, and your intuition. This kind of decision-making is not just logical, it's holistic. It honors the fullness of who you are. Now, I know this is easier said than done. In the midst of life's challenges, it can be incredibly difficult to remain present. The mind wants to pull you into the past, replaying old regrets, or into the future, imagining worst-case scenarios. But here's the secret, you don't have to be perfect at this. Presence is a practice, not a destination. It's something you cultivate moment by moment, day by day. And every time you bring yourself back to the present moment, you're strengthening your ability to stay grounded and resilient in the face of life's challenges. So I ask you, are you willing to embrace presence as your practice? Are you willing to meet life's challenges with curiosity instead of fear? With acceptance instead of resistance? If you are, you'll discover a strength within you that is unshakable. A strength that doesn't depend on external circumstances but comes from a deep connection to the present moment. The next part of our journey will take us even deeper into the transformative power of presence. We'll explore how to integrate this practice into every aspect of your life, so that presence becomes not just something you do but something you are. Becoming presence, living with grace and resilience every day. To live with presence is to live with grace, resilience, and a sense of deep connection to the unfolding of life. It is not a fleeting state you reach only in moments of meditation or quiet reflection, it is a way of being. Presence becomes who you are. And through it, you navigate life's uncertainties with strength and clarity. Let's begin with a simple truth: life doesn't stop throwing challenges your way. There will always be unexpected twists, setbacks, and moments that test your patience. But the beauty of presence is that it doesn't require life to change for you to find peace. Instead, it changes the way you experience life. Ask yourself this: how often do you wait for circumstances to align perfectly before allowing yourself to feel content or at ease? How much of your happiness is tied to things going your way? When we live conditionally, we place our peace at the mercy of external factors. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when this happens," or "I'll feel better once this is over." But life rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. And even when it does, the satisfaction is often temporary. Presence shifts this dynamic entirely. It teaches us to find contentment not in the absence of challenges but in our relationship with them. Imagine walking through a dense forest. The path is uneven, the terrain rough. You could focus on every obstacle, every rock and root that makes the journey difficult. Or you could lift your gaze to the canopy above, the sunlight streaming through the leaves, the intricate patterns of the branches. Presence is like lifting your gaze. It doesn't erase the challenges, but it changes your perspective, allowing you to see beauty and possibility where before there was only struggle. To live with presence is to approach each moment with openness and curiosity. It is to say, what is this moment here to teach me? How can I grow from this experience? When you adopt this mindset, life becomes less about avoiding discomfort and more about embracing it as a catalyst for transformation. But how do we cultivate this kind of presence in the midst of daily life? Let's explore some practical ways. The first step is to create space. In a world that moves at lightning speed, we are constantly bombarded with information, responsibilities, and distractions. To be present, we must consciously step back from the noise. This doesn't mean abandoning your obligations, it means carving out moments of stillness amid the chaos. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And tune into the sensations of your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the weight of your body against the chair, the sounds around you. This simple act of tuning in anchors you to the present moment and reminds you of the stillness that is always available, no matter how busy life becomes. Next, practice mindfulness in your everyday activities. Presence doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic life changes. It can be found in the smallest moments, in the way you savor your morning coffee, in the attention you give to a conversation, in the care you take while preparing a meal. When you bring mindfulness to these activities, you transform them into opportunities for connection and joy. But presence is not just about finding peace in quiet moments, it's about meeting life's challenges with resilience and grace. This requires a shift in mindset, from seeing difficulties as threats to viewing them as invitations to grow. Each challenge is an opportunity to practice presence, to deepen your awareness, and to discover your inner strength. When you face a difficult situation, pause. Before reacting, take a moment to breathe and observe. Ask yourself, what is happening here? And how can I respond from a place of clarity rather than fear? This pause creates a space for wisdom to arise. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. And as you cultivate this practice, you'll notice something remarkable. The challenges that once felt overwhelming begin to lose their power over you. You become less reactive, more centered. You approach life with a sense of calm that is unshaken by external circumstances. But presence is not a solitary endeavor. It is something we bring into our relationships, our work, and our communities. When you live with presence, you inspire others to do the same. Your calm becomes a refuge for those around you. Your clarity helps others find their own. Presence is contagious, and its ripple effects can transform not just your life but the lives of those you touch. Let's pause here and reflect. What kind of impact could you have if you approached every interaction with presence? How might your relationships change if you truly listened? If you met others with compassion and understanding? The more you embody presence, the more you realize its power to create harmony and connection. You see that presence is not just about navigating challenges, it's about living fully. About engaging with life in all its complexity and beauty. But the journey doesn't end here. Presence is a practice, a daily commitment to show up fully for yourself and others. It is the foundation of a life lived with intention, resilience, and joy. So, I leave you with this question: are you ready to live as presence? To make it not just a practice but a way of being? Are you ready to embrace life in all its messiness and magnificence, knowing that you have the strength and clarity to navigate whatever comes your way? This is the power of presence. It is a gift that transforms everything it touches. And it begins with a single moment, a moment of stillness, a moment of awareness, a moment of connection. This moment, right now,